take me back into your arms again. Never let me go. Take me back into your arms again. Never let me go. I admit it, yes, I'm to blame. I took for granted the heart you freely gave. I don't blame you for any doubt, but if you're willing, baby, here's what I'm about. Take me back into your arms again. Never let me go. Take me back into your arms again. Never let.
Welcome. You've got pre-orders.
Well, hey everyone, my name is Jason Stum, and welcome to Inspire Plus, the auto industry's first and only streaming platform that brings you new and original content each and every month. And today we're going to show you how you can win the hearts of an ever-growing segment of car shoppers who are looking for a vehicle to fall in love with and are more interested in ordering that perfect vehicle rather than settling for what's available on the lot. This is a rom-com that's waiting to happen. So if you're stockless in Seattle or like anywhere else for that matter, you're going to want to stick around. And I've got an all-star cast of subject matter experts joining me here today who are going to show you how to fire up your pre-order machine. So without any further ado, let's bring on Kaylee Coder, Regional Strategy Director, Kayla Chambers, our SEO specialist, and Lauren Finnegan, our Senior Digital Advertising Specialist. Hey everyone, how are you?
Hello.
Hey,
You here?
doing rad. How about you?
Doing rad. Oh my gosh. I am so rad. I'm even radder now. Okay, this is probably terrible directing on my part, but hey, what's new? But I think you're going to like where we're going. So surprise. We actually have one more member of the cast who's joining us today. Do you want to meet him?
Yeah.
So making their debut right here on Inspire Plus, it's the newcomer that everyone is talking about with the brightest of futures. Please welcome our newest co-star of the show, the Dealer Inspire Vehicle Configurator. Team, how's it feel to be working with like an internet sensation like VC here today? You follow him on the internet, right? You've seen this before.
Oh, for sure. I have been following them since DI. How do I?
Oh, so you're an early fan. You're seeing some of their indie work.
I've seen the classics.
Well, we are putting them front and center today, and they're going to be on here on the show with us. I know it's a big deal, but we're all professionals. So you know what? Let's get our composure here and get this show on the road. All right, let's do it. So before we get going today, today's show is brought to you by the Dealer Inspire Connected Platform. Dealer Inspire, building connected technology and marketing solutions that maximize dealer ROI by driving more consumers from search to signature more efficiently. Check us out, dealerinspire.com. Okay, Lauren, let's start peeling back the layers here a little bit to look at these contributing factors to the shift in consumer behavior where we're seeing more and more people interested in ordering the vehicle that they want.
Definitely. Well, on the surface, it's pretty straightforward. The continued inventory shortage combined with healthy demand, reduced choices available to car shoppers. It's all things that we already know. But when you're talking about the second biggest purchase that you'll ever make, not everyone is willing to settle on what's available, or if what's in transit is not that perfect match.
Yeah, and not to derail the show so quickly, but that's kind of what I do here. I just gotta say, this Windows 98 vibe is totally giving me the nostalgic feels. I feel like I'm back in my young years. Now, if I could just remember how to get rid of that taskbar, we'll figure that out later. So anyway, low inventory, it's actually had like this weird effect on dealer website traffic. We're seeing more traffic to Dealer Inspire websites since the inventory shortage really took hold over the summer, which is interesting, right?
Absolutely. And it makes sense when you actually think about it. Dealers have less inventory on their websites. And when shoppers don't find what they're looking for, they go and bounce back to the SERP and go to the next dealer's website. The result is what you see here, which is more website traffic.
Right. And hey, everyone, I just want you to keep this graph top of mind, because in just a few minutes, we're actually going to show you how to make your website more sticky and engaging, even if you don't have what a shopper needs in the moment to set you up to reduce these number of inventory related bounces from your website. And there's also some interesting insights to be gained from the SERP too, Lauren. What can we learn here?
Yeah, you can actually learn quite a bit from the autocomplete data when you start typing in a search. So here I typed Honda dealers within, and Google starts suggesting the most popular searches, which is dealers within 100, 250, even 500 miles. And this goes to show that shoppers are casting a wider net in hopes of finding exactly what they're searching for. Remember, Google doesn't just make these suggestions up. They wouldn't be here if people weren't actually searching those queries.
Right. So shoppers, they're searching further than normal, which is leading them to visit more dealership websites. So what else is happening while all that activity is going on?
We're also seeing a distinct upward trend of consumers curious about ordering a car, and they're turning to search engines to investigate those options. So queries like how to order a car or how long does it take to order a car, to searches even like ordering versus buying off the lot. Search volume is up, and clearly it's something people want to learn more about, which is a big opportunity for everyone watching right now.
Yeah, exactly, which is why we're here today. And I think some of that increased search intent can also be attributed to the OEMs themselves, right?
Right. Some shoppers are hearing and seeing messaging touting the benefits of those and even the incentives of showing ordering that inventory. So the searches are a natural place that people can turn to learn more about the ordering process.
Which makes perfect sense. So Kaylee, let's bring you in here. You talk to dealers every day. And some have already started down this path of taking pre-orders, but some aren't quite there yet. But for everyone watching, what are a few of the reasons why a dealer should take the idea of implementing an ordering strategy seriously?
Yeah, well, I think we really need to get used to the idea that lower inventory could very well be the new normal. Multiple OEMs are on record saying that they're more profitable with less inventory and fewer incentives. So a return to the overstuffed lots of the pre-pandemic, they don't really seem super likely. Waiting things out for a return of inventory, it's probably not the strategy to take.
Yeah, and that's definitely something to keep in mind. You know, if I put my dealer hat back on, I haven't worn it in like 8 years, but I think it still fits. I'd probably be of the mindset that this is the new normal, because that's something I can continue to act on. And any of the strategies and tactics that I put into place today won't somehow be negated if like next year I'm flush with rides, right?
Exactly. Pretty much all of the strategies we're discussing, and even in the past year due to the pandemic and inventory shortages, like amping up your digital marketing for fixed stops and turning your website and marketing into a trade-in machine. Those are evergreen strategies that you can continue to run with. Same thing with implementing an order strategy. And adding another reason to see this through, it's that there's tangible and positive financial benefits for car dealers. When you're carrying less inventory, you're going to have lower floor plan, which means less money tied up in financing your vehicles.
And that's a great point. It's always nice to have be more liquid with your cash flow and not have it tied up in like with a bank loan somewhere. So what other benefits are there for dealers?
Well, really, in the long term, ordering can certainly level the playing field and give dealers the opportunity to keep more of their customers in their PMA. When you remove the advantage of one dealer having 2, 3, 5 times the amount of inventory, then you're just really focusing on the reputation and the customer service, which is something that dealers have 100% control of. But for the immediate future, dealers who implement an ordering strategy early, they're going to get a head start on competition by being the first of the kind for this type of a convenience.
Yeah, and I really do think there's like a big opportunity there for those early adopters, which we're already seeing. And that's another great point. And I find this one really interesting. You know, how can taking orders be more profitable for dealers like over the long term?
Yeah, well, it's very interesting times right now. We know a lot of dealers I talk to, well, they're not just pre-selling their incoming units, they're selling them over MSRP simply due to the supply and demand. So, how do you get more profitable than that? Well, you kind of don't. Now, that said, these current market conditions aren't going to be here for forever. Even though we don't expect inventory to return to its pre-pandemic levels, supply and demand will come back somewhat. So the point is, as the market balances out in the future and the OEMs continue to gain more control over inventory levels by pushing pre-orders, you do have the opportunity to capitalize on taking orders, which dramatically reduces the chances of sitting on aged units that you need to discount in order to make them go away. Again, we're talking a long-term strategy here, but that's not the current environment.
Yeah. Yeah. And with a lot of the strategies we talk about, we obviously have things that are going to impact us in the here and now. And there's also going to be these longer running ramifications. And this is one of them. Again, you know, thinking back as a salesperson, the aged units were always my favorite to sell because the sales manager would be like, we'll give you extra money to make these go away because we're sick of having these on our floor plan. And so they'll, you know, put extra money on it. And so you're losing money to make the old ones go away. Something that we can avoid in the future, not necessarily an issue in the here and now, but having an order strategy in place is a way to future-proof that happening down the line.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Jason. And this is my favorite part because being in sales myself, this is something I really, really appreciate. Implementing an order strategy can help lock in your sales pipeline. So imagine it's the first day of a new month. Your dealership would normally start with a blank board and strategizing how to hit those month's goals starting from zero. But since you started attacking those pre-order market, now you already have 10, 15 deals that you can count on because those orders are due to arrive this month.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kayla, my gosh, I'm just off right now. Let's pick that up again. Okay. So, Kayla, come on here real quick. We know that the contributing factors that's making ordering trend. We know the benefits dealers can and should expect from implementing an ordering strategy. Can you tell everyone what we're going to be covering here today to help them do all that?
Absolutely. So first up, we'll cover how you can make your website's visitors fall in love with you. We'll also cover how to use SEO to attract the right kinds of shoppers. And from there, we'll get into some creative ways in which you can make a great first impression with your digital advertising. Then we'll close by showing you how to craft follow-up love letters that will make your customers cry. Well, maybe not really cry, but just feel really special about the relationship they've built with your dealership.
And that sounds like an awful lot to cover. So I say we better start covering it. Okay, I know everyone's ready. You're ready, right?
Yeah.
You're ready? You're ready? I'm ready. All right, let's do this. Kaylee, you are up again. What is that first step to creating a pipeline filling ordering strategy?
Well, it all starts with your website. But you know what? I think this would be a perfect time for our newest co-star to join in on the fun. How would you feel about taking a look at the vehicle configurer?
I think we have to do that. Let's do it.
So we know that we want the customers to find the vehicle configurer, and that's going to be really essential. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But we have it built out on this site here in the main navigation. So we can find the vehicle configurer by clicking on this Build Your Honda button. Once in here, the customer is going to be able to look at all of the different models that you have available. So they can see everything you have and even sort by different vehicles such as crossovers and SUVs. So let's say I'm interested in this CRV. I can click in and see the price right off the bat. From there, I'll actually be able to see all of the different trim levels available. This is great because we know that customers don't always know what's inside each trim level and it gets a little confusing. So it's all broken out here, super easy to see, and the customer can actually see the different prices. So I'm interested in this special edition and I'll click through. From there, I'll actually be able to pick between the different powertrain options as well. So I'll click in here and you can see the customer will then have the option to toggle between different colors. So I can see the different exterior colors and if applicable, the interior colors. That's when the customer will be asked for their lead information. And this is really important for you all because this is when this lead will then push over to your CRM. We'll talk about how to manage this a little bit more in a second as well. But once a customer submits their lead information, they'll then be prompted with a summary of the vehicle. So we can see all of the price broken out and the customer can have a very transparent understanding of what this vehicle looks like for them.
That's amazing. And I'm impressed by two things here. One, I'm impressed by how easy Vehicle Configurator is to use and it has all the right and accurate information. And I'm also super impressed how you can type and talk at the same time.
That's sales for you, Jason. It's
Because I can't do that. That's amazing.
Not many people can. It's a skill I've worked on for a while.
Now, to be clear, the strategy and tactics that we're talking about today don't require a Vehicle Configurator. You can certainly use a landing page with like a custom form-based experience. However, you're going to probably have better results using an experience that's built around the easy to use Vehicle Configurator that it gives you, just like you just saw. Is that fair to say, Kaylee?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether you have websites in your group that aren't on a Dealer Inspire platform yet, which I can help you with if you want to change that, or you're one of the few OEMs that don't support Vehicle Configurator just yet, you can certainly implement these strategies we're going to talk about today using what you have access to. You'll just have a slightly different user experience at the end of it.
Right on. And I have a feeling we're going to be doing a website makeover here to drive awareness and engagement with Vehicle Configurator. So Kaylee, can you walk us through what this should look like on a dealer website?
I would love to. So the Vehicle Configurator or whatever landing page experience that you have set up, you just want to make sure that it can be discovered and engaged with. So when you're going to do whatever we can to make sure that people see this all across the site. And the first place we want to link it out in is your main navigation. We definitely recommend listing this in the new vehicles menu, and there's nothing to stop you from placing it at the very top menu in the main nav.
Right, and which makes total sense, right? That main menu is accessible on every page, so it'd always be right there waiting to be discovered. Where else, though, do we want to put like our pre-order messaging to drive engagement with the Vehicle Configurator?
Well, typically your homepage is going to be your most viewed page. So dedicating a space above the fold on both mobile and desktop is another easy way to hit everyone with that message. Remember, it's very, very possible that customers coming into the site haven't yet discovered that ordering is an option. So let's plant the seed early on.
Yeah, and exactly, because it goes without saying, if you haven't bought a car in the last 3 to 5 years, you may just now be discovering that things are okay. They're a lot different today than they were just even 3 years ago, right? So I love this idea of being upfront with that messaging. And how else can we achieve that result?
So this is one of my favorites. We can actually utilize the personalization technology built into the Dealer Inspire website here. This allows for you to serve specific messages to different users based on each user's browser history and dozens of other indications such as location, device, type, or even referral source. But in this case, you could actually create a personalizer that fires off only to your website visitors who've previously viewed your inventory. Maybe they navigated back to the homepage or they revisit the site after a couple of days. In those instances, this is a perfect time to address those users with a personalized message recommending that they engage with the Vehicle Configurator.
Yeah, and personalization is the best. And there's just so many different ways to use that. And you can actually do something kind of cool on your VRPs as well. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah, you bet. So another thing that you can do is create a banner that you could program to show up when your inventory shows low. You definitely want to do this because whether it's through advertising or organic entrance, not every single visitor is going to start out on your homepage and be engaged with that menu. So some just start shopping, which is awesome. But you definitely want to make sure that there's a mechanism in place that keeps visitors engaged with your website, even if they don't find the vehicle they're looking for.
Yeah, and I know some dealers are even getting more creative with their those zero search result pages, right?
Yes. Something we featured in our recent Top Dealer Hacks of 2021 blog post was how dealers are customizing their zero result search page with additional content that explains the low inventory situation. And it encourages customers to chat or call them to discuss general ordering availability, which is great if you're not used to using the Vehicle Configurator Or if you are, then you most certainly can add another call to action to this page to get people to use the tool and build their next vehicle.
And this is definitely like the greatest hits for getting your message out across your entire website. What else can dealers do here to really make sure everyone's seeing it everywhere?
Yeah, so for our dealers with conversations, I highly recommend using a welcome card that lets users know about your ordering capabilities. Think about those times when customers shopping and they start to chat with you because they have a question about your availability. Serving them a message about placing an order could be the next thing that helps keep them chatting with you instead of continuing to shop somewhere else, which would be the worst thing.
Totally the worst. And that's really good stuff, Kaylee. So stick around because I want to chat you up about some more things here in a bit. But now, Kayla and Lauren, I want to talk some marketing strategy with you two. Are we ready to roll? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, then Kayla. I knew at some point in time I was going to have a Kayla mix up. Okay, then Kayla, let's start with you. When it comes to ordering, chat me up about what dealers need to pay attention to from an SEO standpoint.
Alrighty, so once dealers follow through with Kaylee's expert advice by having their website optimized for converting visitors looking to order their next vehicle, you can then utilize SEO to capture the attention of those key shoppers. Let's look again at those keywords we highlighted at the beginning of the show. The important thing to remember here is that all the keywords listed here are research style queries. So shoppers are turning to search to get fulfilling answers to their questions. And who better to provide those quality expert answers than you?
Yeah, so break it down for me here. There's a couple different intents we're dealing with here: research intent and ready to act intent. Why is it important we differentiate these in our SEO efforts?
Yes, very important, and it's pretty straightforward. Once again, with research type intent, people have questions, and websites that have the most relevant, high quality, and authoritative content are the ones that are going to crack the top of the SERPs. Now, with the ready to act intent, these are people who know they want to order a vehicle, and they're just searching for a dealer to do business with. So it's best to make sure you're covering both types of intent through your content, on-page optimizations, and your off-site signals as well.
All right. Okay, that makes sense to me. So let's look at that research intent. What's important for people to keep in mind from an SEO standpoint? Is it just like all about the content?
Of course, the content itself is super important, but before we get into what makes good content, let's first consider where people are going to discover that quality content that answers their questions, which is, of course, the SERP. So as you're creating that content, make sure to think about other on-page elements like the page's URL, title, and meta description, which should all be 100% aligned to match the intent of the searcher. If you're composing your own page on your DI website, this is really easy to do. And after aligning your metadata, you'll even get a preview of what the search result will look like. This particular result is undeniably compelling the searcher to click through to find the answer to their question.
Which, yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. I know I would totally click on that if that was my question because it's practically begging me to.
Yes, exactly. And you would want to do the same thing with ready to act intent in mind. For example, your meta title would say, order your new Chevy vehicle today. Again, you're matching up the information seen in the SERP to meet the needs of the user.
Right. And I love that. And that is all great stuff. But I know there's also like a little secret that you clued me in on. And I know you want to share it with everyone else here. So what are we looking at here? What gives?
Right. Well, there's a big opportunity for dealers to claim top spots in the SERP. We found that Google will return local results tailored to the specific location of the searcher if, and that's a big if, there's relevant content available from a local entity like your dealership's website. So that's why local signals are really important for these types of queries. Proximity of the searcher to the entity is going to be a top ranking factor. But remember, it's more than just the location. If you don't have the right type of content that's tailored to these shoppers and their questions, then it won't matter if they're on your lot and searching. Without the right type of content, you won't show up as a relevant answer to that query.
And since you brought it up, let's do this. Let's talk about proximity and local SEO for a second here. What should everyone be keeping in mind?
Well, proximity is even more important now ever since Google rolled out a local algorithm update in December, which adds even more emphasis on proximity for local results in the SERP. So with that being said, there are some important things to do and keep in mind. First off, citations. Make sure that your dealership's information is up to date and consistent across all your various citations and/or directory listings. And furthermore, if you only have a few listings, you should consider expanding on your citations so that users can find you across a variety of different platforms. Additionally, we've also brought up metadata in our previous discussions. So your metadata is a great place for you to add in mentions of key cities that your business wants to target to build on your site's local authority. And then as well with your Google Business Profile. So if you don't have a Google Business Profile, you should maybe create one first off. And if you do have one, make sure it's fully optimized. So that means making sure you have an inviting business description, a quality image of your business as the cover photo, and that you've selected categories and services related to your business in the back end of your profile, and that you're also continuing to grow your Google reviews. There's even more ways you can optimize your Google Business Profile, all of which you should take advantage of in order to build your business's credibility in the SERP and provide useful information about your business to users. And then finally, in order to achieve a more holistic approach to your digital content marketing strategy, you want to share your content. So let's say you have crafted a page covering how long it takes to order a car. Don't be shy and share that content in a Facebook, Twitter, or Google post to further drive engagement with your site and its content and maintain your social presence across a variety of platforms that can help put you in front of potential customers.
And I love that breakdown, Kayla. So now let's get down to the content side of things. Again, having the vehicle configurator tool is nice, but we need to support that with additional content, right?
Exactly. So you're going to want a main landing page that acts as the hub for all of your related content. The page should be a comprehensive piece of content that's optimized not just for keywords and user intent, but provides relevant and engaging content that'll drive the viewer down the funnel to conversion. So for example, you want to make sure you're using relevant and visually appealing imagery. Remember to pay attention to those on-page signals in the back-end metadata, along with the actionable H1 and paragraph copy. Additionally, if you have a video that explains how the ordering process works at your dealership, you can embed that onto the page as well. You can even add a section that pulls in reviews for your dealership. And you can also even add and provide a comprehensive section that answers all of the most frequently asked questions as it relates to ordering a vehicle. So cover all this criteria and you'll be off to a great start.
That is like super comprehensive. And I think that's going to be exactly what you need if you don't already have that. So just to be clear here, going back to when you talked about those top ranking pages in the SERP based on location, this is like the kind of page you need to claim that spot in your area, right?
Yep, exactly. You're right on target.
Nice. I learned something today. Thank you. And so, hey, your team recently conducted a pretty cool case study about the impact that chat CTAs can have on your SEO content, which are great to include within your ordering landing page, like we're seeing here. So why don't you break it down for everybody, because this is pretty cool.
Absolutely. So yes, in this study, we found that adding a chat with sales or service button that opens conversations on SEO pages increased chat goal completions on those pages by 20%. So even though conversations or whatever you may use for chat always has a present and persistent widget across your site, this study is showing us that while people are consuming the content on a page, you're more likely to engage users in a chat by placing that chat CTA directly in their line of sight as a natural part of the content flow.
And that's a big one right there, which makes perfect sense. You're reading, you're consuming the content, and then you get the suggestion, chat with me. Yeah, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to have a chat if I have a question because I want it answered. So thank you for those great SEO tips, Kayla. So now let's do this. Let's transition to the paid side of things and see what you can do with your digital advertising dollars to make a great first impression. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. So let's do it.
Let's roll.
Let's roll. So search ads. What do dealers need to know to implement an effective ad campaign?
All right, so when it comes to search campaigns, just remember you're targeting that solely ready to act intent that Kayla was telling us all about. You don't want to spend your advertising dollars on people who are just researching the practicality of ordering a vehicle. You want to capture them when they're low enough in the funnel and ready to order. So much like your SEO content, you want to make sure your ad headline and copy are all aligned with that searcher's intent to order. You'll also want to make sure that you're using site links that link directly out to the vehicle configurator, your new ordering landing page, or even your incentives specifically for vehicles ready to order. And you can even use a messaging extension on your search ads to take a shopper to start talking directly to you.
Yeah, and you got to love that. How have these campaigns been performing for our clients who've started running them?
Yeah, we've seen some pretty impressive results so far for this pre-order language. In our accounts, we've seen these queries average a cost per click of about $3.80, which is about 70-cent decrease in cost per click when compared to new inventory campaigns, which focus on the queries for models that are on your lot at that given moment. These pre-order keywords also see an average cost per lead of about $27, which just shows the efficiency of being there to help your customer find their vehicular soulmate.
Vehicular. Oh my gosh, I am adding that word to my lexicon. Thank you so much for saying that. Moving on from capturing that active intent with search ads, what other avenues do we have to reach our intended audience here?
So we have discovery ads, which are another way to reach shoppers across multiple channels. These layouts rely on machine learning to build and showcase your asset seamlessly across devices. So instead of showing results in response to a search query, discovery ads surface content primarily based on Google's automated systems that they believe to be a good match with a user's interests. And these placements appear in Gmail, YouTube, and even Google's Discover feed. And they're really cost effective as well. While these ad units are similar to the display format, we see better engagement with them at a 2% click-through rate and an average 40-cent cost per click.
And hey, since we're talking discovery ads, I heard that these are like killing it for trade-in campaigns too. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. Trade-in campaigns for discovery ads have seen a 138% higher conversion rate rather than inventory-based ads. So if you're looking to amp up your vehicle acquisition game, get started with some discovery ads today.
Today, like right now.
Today, right after this.
Right after this and all the other things. So let's do this. Moving away from search just for a minute. Where else can dealers be, gaining additional focus to make this presence known?
Social is the obvious answer here, right? While you can certainly create some organic social posts that highlight your ordering capabilities, you'll actually be able to dial into the audience targeting better with paid social campaigns. So a great place to start is with retargeting your visitors who have already been viewing your inventory. Serve them messaging stating that they don't have to settle and that you'll save them time, money, and probably a lot of stress when they place an order with you for their next vehicle. And something I want everyone to remember, it's easy to think of search and social as two completely unrelated things. But keep in mind, if you're generating interest and buzz on social platforms about pre-ordering, you'll need to make sure you're buttoned up on your search strategy so that you can capture those consumers if they want to turn to search. While each platform plays an important role in generating and capturing engagement, the seamless holistic strategy is where the true magic happens.
Yeah, and that is true magic. We heard Kayla talk about it with your SEO content. Make sure it's sharing on social. The things you're sharing on social, make sure you got your paid search strategy buttoned up to capture that intent. It's like all working together with one connected strategy. And that's kind of what we do here. And I like it when that happens. So what else do dealers need to be looking at to make a great first impression with these shoppers?
Honestly, there's huge opportunity on cars.com and the premium display placements you're able to secure. So imagine having that shopper that came to cars.com to look for all of the local dealers in their area and are still struggling to find that perfect match they're looking for. You can meet them in the results with messaging related to pre-ordering their vehicle, and then land that shopper in the vehicle configurator experience on your website.
And I really love that, Lauren. It's like, because we have somebody on cars.com, you're taking them from the high funnel right to your dealer's website to get them engaged with vehicle configurator. It's a very cool tactic. So let's shift gears here and talk TV. I know there's plenty of dealers who advertise on broadcast cable TV because they feel it's a good way to get mass reach. But much like the dial-up modem, the living room cable box, it's kind of like becoming a relic of the past. And I just realized this, that my kids are going to grow up without ever having cable TV. I got 4 kids, ages 3 to 10, and we've never had cable. Never. They won't even know what a
My
cable box
goodness.
is, which made me feel really old. So let's change the
That's
subject.
crazy.
Let's change the subject. Lauren, save me from myself. What's happening to good old-fashioned linear TV?
Well, it's trending down, as I'm sure we can all imagine. So even live cultural events that normally draw a ton of viewers, like news, sports, the Oscars, the Grammys, have seen big declines in viewership. The 2021 Oscars had half the audience it did in 2020. So when we look at overall viewership from back in 2014, it totaled around 100 million households. Today, it's down to about 74 million. And it's estimated that by 2025, it'll be down to 44 million households. I was a math kid in high school. So Jason, I'll take the math for you. That's up over 50% decrease of households in less than a decade.
You know me too well. You know I don't like the math. You're a lifesaver. Thank you. But it's not like people stopped watching things that were broadcast on TV, right? They're just doing it different.
Yeah, they didn't stop. They're just watching differently. So take the Grammys, for example. Live viewership was down to 9 million viewers in 2021. But Dua Lipa's performance of Levitating that aired during the ceremony has been viewed online more than 57 million times and counting. Clearly showing interest in the content, but just watching the clips and segments they're most interested in when it's most convenient for them. And even though they're watching video on different platforms and devices, you can still reach them with Fuel in-market video.
Ah, I see where you're going with all that. That makes perfect sense. And for those of you who don't know, Fuel in-market video, it's powered by Cars.com audience data. And that's the key here, kids, because we know that if someone is on Cars.com, they're shopping for, well, a car, not a toaster, not a new ring light like the one I just got right here that I'm very happy with. They're shopping for cars. And because of that, we can target those specific in-market shoppers on the video platforms and devices they use most to deliver your dealership's most compelling messages, including messages tailored to driving engagement with your ordering process and use of vehicle configurator on your Dealer Inspire website. But the best part, the real greatest, bestest, most amazingest part is that as a dealer, you can gain zip code exclusivity with Fuel in-market video. So that means you can own your own backyard and even the backyard of your competitors and be the only dealer who's able to serve messages to those shoppers. Did I do that right, Lauren? Does that sound right?
Should have brought my hammer with me today because you nailed it. Remember, dealers are using their own creative or they're partnering with our amazing creative producers at Fuel IMV to get up and running with a brand new spot pretty quickly.
Well, you're going to love this. I just got my hands. I've got contacts high up at Fuel IMV. And I just got my hands on a couple of examples of the types of spots that dealers can customize to run on the Fuel IMV platform. I was thinking it'd be cool. Can we check them out? Do you want to watch them together? Have a little watch party?
That'd be awesome. I'd love to.
Let me grab my popcorn.
Did you?
I'm ready.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. All right. We're ready. I feel bad I don't have a snack. Can I get a snack? Oh, I don't think anyone's home. All right, hold on. Let's do this.
You're the commander-in-chief this month during MyZip GMC's President's Day celebration. We're giving all our customers special presidential powers during the month of February. Make an executive pre-order on any new 2022 model and receive $1,000 in stimulus. That's 1,000 George Washingtons when you pre-order a new Sierra 1500, the electable Acadia, or even the stately Yukon Denali. And if you want out of a current lease, MyZip GMC grants you veto power. We'll buy out your contract, but these special privileges are only during our President's Day celebration. MyZip GMC.
And that's the first one. What'd you think?
Whoa. I didn't know a dollar bill could smile. That was-
My favorite part was like, we'll give you 1,000 George Washingtons. And I'm going to start saying that now when something costs $10. I'm going to be like, can I give you 10 George Washingtons for that?
was amazing.
It was really like clever. It was engaging and really showcased those pre-order perks.
Right. Obviously, like those kind of things where it's like you're having a little laugh, a little chuckle, but you're getting that message across. That's like, hey, you can actually do that. And I got one more I want to show everybody. So let me cue that up and we'll look at that one. Here we go.
Are you a perfectionist? Does everything need to be flawless, impeccable, and without compromise? Then choose every detail of your new Hyundai when you pre-order at MyZip Hyundai before it rolls off the assembly line. When you pre-order at MyZip Hyundai, you get exactly what you want without compromise. Our in-store experts will demonstrate all the features to help you make an informed decision. And when you pre-order, receive an additional $1,000 off MSRP. Get exactly what you want for less. Schedule a test drive, myziphyundai.com, and pre-order with precision.
Boom. What do you think?
I
Well, I
love
feel seen. I feel seen for my perfectionism tendencies.
Right? Same here. Same here. I identify so well.
I think I did as well. I actually used to have that neighbor, like the lawn obsessed neighbor, and he wasn't so down like cutting with the scissors, but he'd be out every day, weird times of night, doing things to his lawn. I never understood it, but I'm pretty sure this commercial is for that guy.
Oh yeah.
And that's just like a couple of the examples of the spots that you can customize with Fuel IMV to get up and running real fast. There's actually a bunch of pre-order spots. I wanted to watch them all, but I didn't think that'd be the most valuable use of everyone's time. But you can certainly investigate that. And hopefully your wheels are spinning, thinking how you can claim those zip codes in your own backyard and engage real in-market shoppers with your video advertising. One last little bit I did want to cover here, though. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the best practices for following up with the leads who engaged with Vehicle Configurator on your website. And Kaylee, can you help me out here?
I would love to.
All right. So what do we need to know about like Vehicle Configurator leads and how to best convert them into actual orders?
Yeah, so this is really extremely important to note because the vehicle configurator leads that are going to be submitted to your CRM are totally different than those traditional leads. You can't just put those shoppers in the same automated bucket that's going to follow up in your CRM. You first need to move them to send an immediate text message to confirm the order.
Right, which makes perfect sense. You send them a text, then what do you do?
Well, if it was me and I was following up with this lead, after I engage with the customer via text, I'd want to get them on the phone or maybe even do a video chat with them, which you could totally do over conversations. Just want to make sure we can discuss the next steps and make sure the customer understands the entire process because they will have questions.
Right. And this is really where that next level customer service kicks in, right? People are going to expect to be kept in the loop and you'll be able to be there by their side. So what do we do from there?
Yeah, and then after you've connected with the customer, you want to confirm that the vehicle and confirmed with the vehicle and go over all the next steps. Then you want to go to your OEM's ordering process and get that vehicle in the system. Once it's entered and accepted, then you can reach back out to your customer and let them know that the order has been placed and provide any additional information, like potentially even the delivery date.
Okay, so the order is placed, you confirmed it with the customer, and now it's going to be like 6 to 8 weeks before their vehicle is delivered to the dealership so they can pick it up. What can you do with those customers to keep them engaged during that wait time? Because I imagine doing nothing wouldn't be good.
Yeah, well, and that's a long time. So once it's all said and done, it's important that your customer is still hearing from the dealership. So I really like the idea of setting up an email drip campaign that includes additional information about your dealership and the vehicle that they ordered to keep them excited. It's a lot of opportunity here to get creative with that in all the downtime. And it doesn't have to be an email every couple of days. You could certainly set up a weekly or even bi-weekly schedule. The main thing to remember is to do nothing. That's the absolute worst option.
Yes, do something, don't do nothing. And I totally agree. And it's important to keep that customer engaged because after they've, their ride has showed up and they've taken delivery, you're going to want to follow up with them like at least one more time, right?
Absolutely. As you're checking with your customer, and that's part of your post-delivery follow-up, that's when you want to ask them to leave a review for the dealership. And these reviews are critical because the more people that mention that they've ordered a vehicle from your dealership and talk about how easy it was and the process, that's the word of mouth advertising that's going to work in your favor.
Yeah, and we're seeing this right now, the reviews that we have up here on the screen, real reviews from real dealers, from real customers talking about the great ordering experiences they had. And that's just going to help fuel your marketing machine. And aside from that word of mouth advertising from your reviews, they're also pretty valuable marketing assets, right?
Yeah, when someone has something nice to say about your dealership, the experience that you provide, that's just when these words are extra important. So take those quotes and use them in your advertising and your marketing on your website, on your social media, Facebook, Instagram, you name it.
That's right. We actually have a show that's dedicated to taking your review game up to the next level over on Inspire Plus. So make sure you add it to your watch list to get even more tips and tricks for generating reviews and then what to do with them after you get them. And hey, look at that. We did it. If you watch the live premiere of this show and you want to revisit this content, just keep an eye on your inbox because you're going to get a link where you'll be able to rewatch the show until your heart's content. And if you're already watching this on demand, well, then just do me a favor, be kind and rewind. So the next person who checks out this tape doesn't have to do it themselves. Sorry, I am just stuck in the 90s right now and loving it so much. So with that, let me take a moment and say thanks to Kaylee, Kayla, and Lauren for being on the show today. You all did amazing. Thank you.
Ooh, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
It was great that you were here. And hey, thank you for checking us out on You've Got Pre-Orders right here on Inspire Plus. I do hope you find this content useful, engaging, and that you can take it right back to your dealership right now and start to acting on it. If you're already a Dealer Inspire client and you want to talk more about your dealership's ordering strategy, just reach out to your performance manager. And if you're not a client and you want to chat, just scan that QR code here on the screen with your phone and chat up someone on our team right now. And with that, I suppose we got to get back into the 2022s. Is it 2022 already? We say goodbye to the 90s, everybody.
Bye.